Today, I want to tier rank amber cards from the first chapter for Lorcana, right? And I'm going to tier rank these S, A, B, C, D. And this isn't an objective tier ranking, right? This is just what I've liked and not liked playing, right? And for the most part, I like playing most of the cards. I really, really like Lorcana. I like the cards. But we're just kind of doing like S is my absolute favorite cards. I think they're awesome. They're really cool in how they work. A, I like a lot. B, or like I like a lot. B, I like a lot. C, I think they're pretty good. And D, I just don't play them as much as like other cards, right? And again, I really want to stress this. This isn't like what I think are the most powerful cards or the weakest cards or whatever. It's just what I enjoy playing versus not enjoy playing. And I try to explain why. The reason being is because I'm not right now in the playing. I don't use songs as much as I should. So they kind of get ranked a little bit lower versus some of the more powerful characters, which I like winding up and doing. Again, I'm not saying I'm the best player at this game. I'm just saying this is my perspective, just to have a little fun and talk about, like I said, the amber cards for the first chapter. So, before we get into the video, do me a huge favor, make sure you hit like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really helps out the channel. Let me know down in the comments what your tier rankings or some of your favorite cards or some of your least favorite cards are, and let's go check out the list. All right, so here is our tier list. Like I said, we have all set up. All of our cards are down here at the bottom. We'll do them alphabetically. I know you can't see them here, so what we'll do is we'll bring them up on here because the very first one we got to do is Ariel. All right, so Ariel is a 4-cost card, can be inked, is a character card, 3/4 stat line. Voiceless, this character can't exhaust to sing songs, and it gets 2 lore, which is a pretty good card. I feel like that's pretty solid, right? It's not overly like powerful or anything like that. But 3/4 stat line, I feel like is pretty good. Getting 2 lore for me is always like high up there. I'm not big into like singing songs, so that's not like a detriment to me. So as of right now, I'm going to put her in the A tier because I think it's a pretty good stat line. It's a little expensive, but getting 2 lore, I think is can be extremely strong. So that is Ariel with her sea legs. Next, we get Ariel, the spectacular singer, right? So now she can actually sing. So a 3-cost card, 2/3 stat line, right? So a little bit cheaper. Stat line's a little bit lower. Singer 5, this character counts as cost 5 to sing songs. So again, if you're doing a song heavy type deck, card makes a lot of sense. Musical debut. When you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a song card and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order in just 1 lore. If you're going song strategy, I feel like this works a lot and this makes a lot more sense. It seems like a pretty decent card then, especially when you can search through your cards and make it easier. I do like it. It's just my problem is I don't do a lot of songs, right? Songs like just aren't kind of in my wheelhouse of things I do. And again, this tier list is very it's subjective, right? It's just kind of what I'm into. So for me, I just don't see a lot of value in it personally because I don't do a lot of songs. But if you're more of a song builder, that makes a lot more sense. So, all right, after that, we have Cinderella, who's a 4-cost card, 2/5 stat line, singer of 5. You can exhaust and remove up to 3 damage from chosen princess character and 2 lore. I like this card a lot. I don't know if I'm the only one on this, but this card is, to me, very, very strong. Being able to remove damage from princesses. I've done a few princess decks before, and it was really nice having her where, okay, she can exhaust and she has got a good amount of defense that if like, okay, if your opponent's trying to take advantage of your exhausting by attacking Cinderella, like you can still heal a ton. So I really like this card. The 2 lore I'm a big fan of too. It's not overly expensive, so I think it's a pretty strong card overall. For me, I'm going to put it up here. It might pop up here. I'm not 100% sure yet, but it's definitely high up there. I really kind of enjoy that card a lot. So, all right, then we have Lilo, Making a Wish. 1-cost card, can't be inked. 1/1 stat line, but 2 lore. That 2 lore is really nice. That 2 lore is really nice, but man, it's a weak stat line. I feel like you use it, you pay 1 to get her out there once to get the 2 lore. It's definitely not bad. I'm going to say C is very like average, right? C is kind of my average tier. D is I just don't like the card at all. B, you know, I like it a bit more. A, I like a lot. S is like I love. So yeah, I don't mind the trade-off, but that's like a really kind of not expensive trade-off, but you know, if you're built out and you have a ton of extra ink, then it's not so bad. But I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of that trade-off card. I think it's to me a very kind of average card there. All right, so we have Goofy, the Musketeer. 5 cost card, can be inked. 3/6 stat line, Bodyguard. This character may enter play exerted. An opposing character who challenges one of your characters must choose one with Bodyguard if able. When you play this character, you may remove up to 2 damage from each of your Musketeer characters as 1 lore. This is a dope card. I love this card. I think this is really strong, really cool. It's nice. The whole Bodyguard trait's really nice and can be strong to just kind of absorb that damage while the rest of your board does other things, right? And is trying to do their thing. So I do like that. And just being able to remove 2 damage from each Musketeer you own. Obviously, it depends on timing, what else is on their table, what else you're doing. But I like this a lot. I don't play it all the time. I haven't played the Musketeer build that often. I've done princesses more with Amber, but yeah, I don't know. I like the card a good amount, so it's high up there. I could be convinced to put it a little bit higher, but as of right now, that's where I'm having it. Now I need to look for, there he is, Hades. Hades, an 8 cost card, absolutely crazy. Can't be inked. 6/7 stat line, shift 6, so you may pay 6 cost to play this on top of one of your other characters named Hades, right? So if you have a cheaper Hades out there, this character gets +1 lore for each other villain character you have in play. This card's really good. I think this card's really good. I mean, the fact, again, you have to do kind of a villain build and whatnot, which is fine. But even if there's 2 other villains, right? So you get 3 ink on this. I mean, that's just insane amounts of exhaustion you could do. Plus having 7 life, that's really strong. Like really, really good. I think this is an incredibly strong card. Now, again, it takes a little bit of building out and takes, a bit to do with it. But it's really strong. It's really, really strong, really, really good. And with villain builds, I think can be a lot of fun. So I do like that card. All right, Maximus, Palace Horse, 5 costs, can be inked, 4/5 stat line. It's another bodyguard card, which we already talked about. Support, whenever this character quests, you may add their attack to chosen character's attack this turn. And then comes with 1 lore. If you're lining up another attack, really good, really strong. Kind of expensive to do this. Because you don't really want to attack with Maximus, right? You want to attack with somebody else. If you use kind of a cheaper ally, this is how I've been doing it, is I use a cheaper ally out there, give them a ton of attack to kind of take out a larger foe. So it's like, okay, they use their really expensive card, and I'm not using mine, essentially, right? So that's kind of how I've approached it and how it's worked for me. I haven't done a lot of builds like that, but I do think this is a pretty decent card. Well, actually, we'll put it below Ariel. So yeah, I like it. I like it a fair amount, but it's strong. All right, so Hades, Lord of the Underworld, 4 costs, can't be inked, 3/2 stat line. When you play this character, return a character card from your discard to your hand. Comes with 1 lore. It's not bad, right? It's not bad. I mean, if you're using this for the other Hades, maybe it helps out a little bit, but still, it'd be really expensive overall. So I don't mind the card. The stat line's kind of weak. Being able to return a card from my discard pile is pretty good, but I don't love it, to be honest. I don't know what it is. Every single time I have this card in my hand, I'm playing a different card, right? That's really what it comes down to, is I'm just playing a different card. I find more value in other cards than that one. So Hades, kind of on the lower scale for me there. Hey, I don't know why I love Hey, but Hey is 1 cost, 1/2 stat line. Whenever this character quests, you may add their attack to a chosen character's attack this turn, 1 lore. He's just like that cheap ally that you get out there and you kind of keep throwing them out, and you be able to quest with them and whatever. It's a very okay card, right there down with a Lilo. I actually don't mind using the card a fair amount, because it is nice and cheap to get Hey out there. I like other versions of Hey more, but it's a nice little basic card. Nothing terrible. So definitely like Hey. After that, we have LeFou, who I really wish they would do these cards alphabetically. But for whatever reason, they don't. There he is. So LeFou is 2/1/2 stat line. If you have a character named Gaston in play, you pay 1 less to play this character, which, okay, like 2 to 1. Okay, that's fine, I guess. 2 lore, right? 2 lore on LeFou. Obviously, if you get him for even cheaper, to get 1 cost in there to lore for 2. Okay, right? That's pretty darn strong. I don't use him a ton. I really don't use him a ton. It's not that I don't like him. It just No, he's higher than that. Nah, yeah, he's probably like in here somewhere in between the two. He's not bad. I kind of prioritize other cards over him, so definitely not a bad card. But it's just other ones that do over him. All right, Maximus, Relentless Pursuer, 3/3/3, or 3 cost 3/3 stat line. When you play this character, chosen character gets -2 attack. This turn, he gets 1 lore. I don't mind him. Again, if I'm attacking a card right away, and it's like there's a lot of things that have to line up correctly for me to really kind of like using this card. But I don't know. To me, it's just kind of expensive for what it is. With a 3/3 stat line, I'd rather put in other amber cards at that point. He's gonna be down there for me. Again, I see the value of him. It's not that I'm saying that there isn't any value. I do see the value there with him. It's just for me, it's just not the best card for me, personally. All right, next we have Minnie Mouse, right? Yeah, Minnie Mouse is a 2 cost, can be inked, 2/3 stat line. Nothing special about her. Just gets lore. I mean, she's fine, right? She's fine. She's actually probably gonna be D tier for me. Actually, and the thing is, she's not bad, right? It's just that there are other cards to be played. And that's how I'm doing. Like again, I want to be like, this is a bad card. I don't think it's a bad card. Have I played this card and made use of it? Yes, absolutely. But I think it's a very just generically kind of weak card compared to especially all the other ones that we've seen at this point. So yeah, she's kind of down there for me. Just I use her a lot less than probably a lot of other cards I'd rather have. So Prince Philip is a 4 cost, can't be inked, 3/3 stat line. When this character challenges and is banished, you may banish the challenged character to lore. This is interesting in the sense that it makes sure that your opponent can't use an overly powerful ally on Prince Philip, which I like that idea. Maybe it's because when I play either online or in person, most people can figure out a way around this, right? They're not using their super strong ally or whatever for Prince Philip. So, or their powerful character, I should say. So they're not really using it for this card. So I feel like a part of his sweet ability to banish the other character is kind of wasted. Like they're using kind of like a regular stat line ally or hero or whatever that I would be able to take out regardless. So it's a cool idea. And I guess if your opponent only has the 1 card, it will work out really well. The 2 lore is nice for the stat line, but again, this is not a card I use a lot. I think it's a little expensive for it is. I think it's a little worse than Mini for me. But yeah, it's just not a card I use a ton. All right, so Mr. Smee, his 3 costs, can be inked, 2/5 stat line with 1 lore capability. Now, again, when we compare this to like Mini, right? So he was a 2/5 stat line. For Mini, same amount of lore, right? Yeah, same amount of lore. Only 1 cost more, but gets 2 extra defense. I don't know if it's just me when I play, but that extra 2 defense really comes in handy, right? Mr. Smee definitely comes in handy. He's not, again, overly powerful card. No, I'm going to put him up here. A little above average for me. Not an overly powerful card, but that extra cost, I'm willing, if I had Mini and him, and I could afford one of the 2 cards, but not both, I'd pick Mr. Smee, right? That just makes the most sense to me. I just value that defense so that I can save my cards for a round and then hopefully knock out my opponent's cards maybe twice in a round. Now we go a little bit more expensive, right? And it's just 1 attack, right? And this is good, but now I feel like we're getting just like a tad bit too expensive, right? Because we increased the cost by 1 for Mr. Smee from Mini to increase 2 defense, but we're only increasing 1 attack for this. Pumbaa's good, but to me he's more like average good. So I don't value him as highly. But yeah, it's fine card. Rapunzel. Which is this Rapunzel, right? Rapunzel, 4 costs, can be inked, 1/5 stat line. When you play this character, remove up to 3 damage from one of your characters. Draw a card for each 1 damage removed this way, 2 lore. I love this card. This card is amazing to me. Mainly because, again, I want to remove damage, which is great. But every time I remove damage, being able to draw cards, being able to draw potentially 3 cards, I always have an issue with card draw in Lorcana. I always want more cards. And Rapunzel kind of fixes that. Now you have to get the timing right? But once you do, I mean, you're kind of set in my opinion. But yeah, really strong card. I just exhausted her lore. Obviously, I don't really ever attack with her. She can usually survive an attack, hopefully, maybe 2. So we get 4 lore out of her, which is pretty strong. So definitely, really, 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 really like her card. All right, Sebastian 2 cost can be inked 2/2 stat line. Can sing for 4, 1 lore. Again, I'm not really that much of a singer, so I don't utilize those cards as much as I should. Where's our other singer card? I already forgot where we put. Well, we had Ariel up there and whatnot. We had Ariel a bit lower, but like I feel like Sebastian's just like kind of a weaker version, so we'll put him in the middle there. So yeah, not a big fan. I don't do a lot of singing. I should do more and lean into that strategy, but I just kind of haven't. All right, so Stitch is a 1/2/2 stat line with 1 lore on it. It's pretty good stat line, pretty strong overall. I do like this, especially when you compare this to like Lilo, who, okay, gets 1 extra lore, but maybe we get the extra attack to kind of knock out some stronger cards. A little bit stronger than Hey Hey, let's say, right? Even though Hey Hey has the support and whatever. I think regular Stitch card is actually pretty strong for me. A 2/2 stat line I kind of value a lot, especially at 1 cost. I think that's pretty good. And if I can get a few Stitches in there, definitely like that card. So he is high up there for me. Now I have to do Simba, who I think is actually on the next page. No, he is not. Where did they put Simba? All right, there he is. Couldn't find him. All right, so Simba is a 2 cost, can be inked, 2/3 stat line bodyguard with 1 lore. Not bad. Definitely a mid-tier card. Pretty solid. I put him, actually, no, I'll put him up here. He's a little bit stronger than that. Strong card. Bodyguard's always nice. Not too expensive. Can be used well. Like it. All right, so next we have Control Your Temper. 1 cost. Chosen character gets -2 attack for this turn. I don't like love this card, but it is nice when it works out that you can, your opponent thinks they have everything set up, that they're going to be able to challenge and take out one of your character cards, and all of a sudden, no, they can't. So I don't use it a ton in my strategy, but it's definitely a good card. Actually, no, it'd be a little above Maximus. Definitely a good card. Definitely strong, or can be strong, especially if you get the right time. Again, timing is kind of priority with that, but good card. Hakuna Matata is a 4 cost card song. So remove up to 3 damage from each of your characters. There have been times that this works out really strong. Now, again, I'm not big into songs, so I've only played this card a handful of times, but when it has worked really well for me. But high up there, this again, the B is like above average, so I'm not like saying this is mid tier. Like I think most of the cards are pretty good. So, but yeah, so that's pretty high up there. So then we have Just in Time. 3 cost card, can't be inked. You may play a character with a cost 5 or less for free. Okay. I mean, really, it's if you play a 5 cost card, you're getting a 2 discount, right? You're getting 2 discount, which isn't bad. I mean, 2 discounts nice when it works out, but it's not massive. I don't think it's a super powerful card. Obviously, if it works out well, it works out well. But for the most part, I don't play the card that much. So 1 cost, Healing Glow. Action, remove 2 damage from a chosen character. This gets played more than Just in Time, right? Just in Time, or not Just in Time. I'm sorry, not Just in Time. What was the song we were just talking about? Hakuna Matata. While this is obviously a lot more powerful, I just don't play it as much. So I would put it slightly above there because I end up just playing Just in Time, or not Just in Time. What did I just say? Healing Glow. End up playing Healing Glow more often. All right, so You Have Forgotten Me. Each opponent chooses discards 2 cards, 4 costs. It's expensive. It is expensive, but card draw, especially early on, could be a little bit rough if you're not kind of building around it. Being able to hamstring your opponent to get rid of their cards, I think, is worth the trade-off sometimes. So I definitely like this card, especially for me kind of in later stage game where they only have a handful, like 3 cards or whatever, and they have to make some serious sacrifices there. I do like that. And especially if they're trying to build out their inkwell, like all that stuff really kind of helps out, and it's really a way to just make sure your opponent doesn't kind of get the better of you, I think. So, all right, so Lantern, excuse me, 2 costs, can't be inked. Birthday Lights, you can exhaust this card and you pay 1 less cost for the next character you play this turn. If you play this early, definitely worth it, right? Definitely a strong card as an item card. I actually like this card a lot if I get it early. If I don't get it early, then it doesn't really get played. But over the long haul, this card can be worth a lot. Really just got to be used twice to just pay for itself. So. All right, Dingle Hopper, sorry. Dingle Hopper is a 1-cost card. Remove up to 1 damage from a chosen character. Again, if we like the healing card, like Healing Glow and whatever, I think this is a little bit more powerful. I like items a lot. I think items can be really strong. So I think this is a pretty good card. Just be able to constantly use it out there, kind of over and over and over. And then we have Ursula's card, which is right here, her shell necklace, 3-cost card. And now saying whenever you play a song, you may pay 1 extra to draw a card. This helps a lot for card draw. My problem is, again, I'm just not using a ton of songs. So for me, this is kind of just a mid-tier card because I'm not doing songs a lot. I really should. I get it. I should do more songs. I just, in the first chapter stuff, I really haven't done a ton. So then after that, we have Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse, the 3-cost, 3/3 stat line. Definitely just like a good card, like a good, well-rounded card, which I'm going to put actually at the bottom of like, I like a lot, right? I like this card a lot. Use it a lot. Using that 2 lore, decent cost. Very, very strong, especially that stat line. I think is pretty good, especially if you get him out early game where your opponent can't really take him out right away. I think that's pretty strong and pretty useful. All right, so after that we have Moana. 5-cost ink card, 1/6 stat line. Ooh. But whenever this character quests, you may ready your other princess characters. They can't quest for the rest of this turn, and she gets 3 lore. So this. I have done this with princess cards, and this works out great if you can set it up. It really does. Because, again, you lore with your princess cards, and then whenever this character quests, so you quest with her, you quest with your princess, quest with her, and then you may ready your other princess characters, so you ready all of them up, and then they can't quest, sure, but now they can do all the attacking. I love this combo. This is a card I use a ton. I absolutely love it. So, way high up there. Big fan of Moana. All right, then we have Stitch, Carefree Surfer, 7 costs. Ink, or can be inked, 4/8 stat line. When you play this character, if you have 2 or more characters in play, you may draw 2 cards, 2 lore. I like the idea of this card. The problem is I can never afford this card. So I'm going to put it in the high B. It is a good card, right? I rarely can afford it. I'm really in the right situation. It's just... If I'm in a situation to play that card, generally I'm already like kind of rolling and I'm good, and I don't know if I really need to play it that much. So it's very, very good. But I haven't been able to play it that often, so I can't rank it that highly. All right, this is another song. 2 costs, can be inked. Be our guest. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a character card and put it in your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your deck. It's good. I put it up there above average slightly. Excuse me. Because I think it's strong to be able to, again, find specific cards for your deck. It's just songs I don't do a lot with, unfortunately, and that is kind of moving forward. Something I would like to do is mess around with more songs. All right, so now we have Stitch, the Rockstar. 6 costs, can be inked, 3/5 stat line. It's a shift card. So whenever you play a character with a cost 2 or less, you may exert them to draw a card. 3 lore on this. Again, card draw, huge. Getting out cheap characters, absolutely massive. I build around Stitch, right? I don't... Yeah, no, he's... I'm putting there for now. He can go either way. I like him a lot. It's really, really great. Getting that card draw, super strong, super good. All right, then we have Timon, where he is... Oh, he's right there. Okay. 1 cost ink, 1 cost, can be inked, 1/2 stat line. When you play this character, you may remove up to 1 damage from a chosen character, 1 lore. It's nice to kind of, heal a little bit, right? So Healing Glow, I put a little bit better than that. Again, good card, like it for what it is. It gets played if there's some damage out there. It's not crazy good. And then Part of Your World is the last card. Which is 3 cost song. You can obviously sing it if you want. Return a character card from your discard to your hand. I don't really use this card. I'll be honest. If they get this card, they're kind of done. And now, if I had a really powerful one out there, I guess it's fine. But usually, I'm so far like looking forward that I just don't. I probably don't use this card to its best value, right? For the most part, if I'm putting out a really expensive card out there, I'm rolling at that point. I'm pretty good, and I'm not focusing on trying to get them back out. Now, there's obviously builds that will work around to make that card worth it. But for me, it's just I haven't personally done it. And that's one last time I want to iterate. Again, this tier ranking is just my opinion with how I play and just kind of how I view the cards. This isn't supposed to be objective, but just the cards I absolutely love, like a lot. I think are fine. And then cards I just don't play as much or I don't like as much. So yeah, that's just kind of how I broke that tier list down. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like I said, it's just supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something interesting and different. Because I feel like going through these cards, again, I'm not an expert on them. I don't want to say like this is objectively the best, but this is just what I've been playing and what I've been liking. And as I continue on this journey of Lorcana, we'll see how this changes over time. So I'm excited to do like another version of this video months or a year in the road or down the road to see if my perspective on things change. I really enjoy Lorcana. I really enjoy the cards with it. So, like I said, do me a huge favor. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on the cards, like what cards you really like or really don't like, or maybe I was missing something with some of these cards. Definitely let me know down below, and I'll see you all next time.